Good morning. Happy Saturday, 5th of November. So, any tips on eating out this weekend? It obviously comes up a lot. And I've had a few questions this week actually from, I've been doing Fruci Fit a while, but this is like, now that season's coming in, I'm unsure what we're going to normally do. And just know that, most people will often put on around 10 to 13 pounds around the Christmas period. So sometimes it's setting our expectations and going, you know what, I want to be fitter, healthier, stronger, but do I need to change my expectations at the start? And that's okay too. But first off, and I always say this, is that you have the choice, right? When we eat out, we have a choice. We have a choice that you choose to go all out, enjoy ourselves. No one forces us, and this is an important thing about the mindset of dieting. No one forces us to choose the healthy option, to not eat out or anything like that, to not drink. If you feel like you have to do these things, where's that coming from, and why do you even want to do those things? And what if you didn't actually need to do those things? And what I want you to get to think about is, don't see meals out, social events as necessarily challenges and obstacles getting in the way so I can't start. See them as, I want to keep these as part of my life. These are opportunities to make a better choice next time. And what would be different if we went into it like that? So, for example, I spoke to someone, they were like, I just go out and I messed up. I had like a whole pizza, I was stuffed. And I was like, cool, just take that for what it is. Would you do anything differently next time? Did you enjoy it? All these questions, no judgment here. Maybe use this as next time. Could you go for 3/4 of a pizza and take away a quarter? What a challenge that would be to make a different choice. And this is how habits are built. Like, we say we want to build sustainable habits. We say we want to still fit in. We want to keep our lifestyle. But there's just going to have to be some tweaks. And the good news about that is you don't have to go around cutting out all of these foods necessarily or anything. We just have to be more aware of what we're doing in these situations. Actually make the choice we want to make, both from a taste point of view, but also a physiological point of view, because sometimes we've got to look at, what's more important right now. And I was chatting to one of the ladies, and she was saying about how the weekends seem to be difficult, especially when they're quiet. If there's a quiet weekend, it's a struggle. And it's like, why is that? Well, there's no plan, right? And sometimes we say like it's too much to plan. There's, I want that weekend off, and I understand that. But actually, it sounds like to me we're putting a lot of effort in going, oh no, this weekend's going to be rubbish, because I haven't got a plan, which is exhausting anyway, right? So it's going to be hard anyway, because we're either going to go, that monkey on the shoulder is going to be saying, just have the weekend off, don't do this. And that's fine if you choose to have that. Then if we have that weekend off and we're like, oh no, feel like I'm back to square one, even though you're not, but I feel like I've slipped bad habits in, we go into that space. Is that exhausting anyway? That's still using our energy. That's still tiring, right? So, it's an interesting one. Like, when you eat out, it's not necessarily a bad, thing. Like, we went and ate out the other week actually at a restaurant, and I was like, oh, the sides don't actually come with it. And I was like, this is kind of amazing. Like, although it was like probably a cheeky way of like making fine dining a bit more expensive. But I was like, oh, so if I get a main and I just get some vegetables on the side, if I choose to have that, I'm well in control here. And I was like, it's actually quite good. And it's like, they go for quality rather than quantity. And it's about making those choices sometimes. We know that, the more words like crispy, battered, they're probably going to have higher fat calories. We know that the carby dishes are probably going to be more stodgy and bigger. There's a lot of calories on actual meals now anyway, if you did want to look at that. But thinking about practice, don't see it as like this is the be-all and end-all. See it as practice. Practice leaving some food on your plate, like if you're not hungry. And know that even if you do go, you know what, just make that choice. I'm going to this restaurant, I rarely go there, and I love this, and I'm going to have a bit more. And that, you know what, I'm going to put my weight loss goal on the back burner for a little bit here, and I'm going to be okay with that. Because actually the issue comes from beating ourselves up, having the next 4 days off. Then every meal out, we have 4 days off, and that's 5 days a week off, rather than just one meal. Because remember, it's consistency over time that will get you the results. It's that over time, what do you do on average, which is going to get you the results, not what you just do once in a while, just having a good meal only when you eat out. Because, I speak to people as well, and they're like, yeah, I've got a meal out, and I don't know what I'm going to have. But then last night, there was comfort eating, snacks, biscuits. It's like, we've got to get this balance right. And like I said the other day, you can start to think about it as like credits and debits. If you're eating out like every weekend, that's fine. Could we lower your food intake in the week at some points and allow for a bit more at the weekends? But just know, if you do that, your weight will fluctuate more. So it will go up a bit at the end of the weekend, probably the saltiness of the food, like, when you're eating out, the quantity as well. So just take the average over the week if you're doing that, to keep your mind sane and to get back to it and normalize the other meals. So bringing these together, can you get a food plan for the weekend? If you are compensating a little bit and eating less during the week and then having a bit more at the weekend, just know, take your weight daily. Focus on company, not food. Use these eating out, remember it's a social event, use these eating out opportunities to change our habits. We want this to be sustainable. So let's start making it sustainable. Can we be more aware, have more conversations, less about food, more about the social side of it? Can we practice leaving food on our plate? One of the ladies puts a napkin on her plate when she's done. She's like, it's rude if I start picking chips then. Use the 50% rule. Have 50% of your meal. Check in, have a glass of water. Am I still hungry? Eat another 50% if you are. Check in again. How am I feeling? Put your knife and fork down between bites. These are little things that we can start to practice. So use these as an opportunity. If we want this to be sustainable, we want to lose the weight long term, not just do a quick fix where we're like, cut out everything, then we're not really trained for our social events, right? Trained for real life. And we want this to be embedded in our head. So hope these help today. Let me know in the comments anything that you try. If you find this helpful, share it with others who maybe are in the same situation, jumping from different diets, but actually failing to hit the nail on the head with, how do I make this fit my lifestyle? So I hope that helps. Any questions, let me know, and I'll see you soon. Take care.